This is my brother Garrett.
And this is my sister Bianca.
This is my husband Lucas.
And this is my husband. And so
we married siblings.
Yeah.
So we married first, and then they got jealous, and they got pregnant first.
Yeah, we're almost 6 months, and then
I'm 14 weeks, so
Yeah.
I don't have a belly, but we'll start showing soon, I think.
yeah. So I'm Andrea McDowns, and my husband.
I'm Lucas McDowns.
Yeah, and we've been here for 2 semesters now.
2 semesters.
Yeah, we met here at Rexburg.
Yeah, I'm Garrett Rebers from Hobbs, New Mexico, and this is my wife.
Bianca Reber, and I'm from Flower Mound, Texas.
Actually, his sister married my brother, and we were up at school, and his sister came to like bring him up to school and everything. And then I was just out like walking my neighbor's dog, and she saw me, and so she stopped. And then I met him for the first time. We shook hands.
Yeah.
When we first met.
I just got back from my mission, and so I was super awkward. And so yeah, just a handshake.
We became friends, and I actually tried to set him up with a ton of other girls. That's how we met. So I was trying to show him girls and set them up, and then one night we just ended up talking because we never really talked by ourselves, and then we talked for over 6 hours, just 6 hours straight. And then from that point forward, like I think it was just kind of assumed that we were kind of dating.
And then we just started hanging out. We started out as friends. We'd hang out all the time, every single day.
Uh-huh.
And then we just started dating, and he was such a gentleman. That's, I think, that's the first thing I noticed.
We went on like a long drive, and we just kind of sat and talked to each other. And I told her that, you know, the purpose of dating was so that you can get married. And so I told her that I wanted her to kind of tell me if that's kind of what her goal was as well, because I didn't necessarily want to be dating someone that didn't have any plans to get married in the future.
And it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna get married. Like, he was just like, hey, like, this is my intention, so like, is that where we're kind of at?
Yeah.
I had a little list of different things that I wanted in a wife, and that's what, I looked for those, and I'm sure I dated a lot of girls at BYUI, and you need to find the one you want to marry. It's not just that she's attractive or she's fun to be around, but it's the other ones that are more important. Like, can I spend the rest of my life with her? Can we have a family together? Can she raise my children? Is she spiritual? Some of those different things that people can overlook because of the physical. And so I look for those more of the spiritual or different things, and also the physical.
Well, clearly. I really wanted someone that like was very family oriented, and that like I wanted a lot of kids, and so I was like looking for someone that wanted a lot of kids too.
The philosophies or things that my dad taught us is that your friends won't always be there. You always have to make new friends, but your family will be there no matter what. And so I took that, and I really stayed with it, and my family was definitely my best friend. And so I would hang out with them on weekends and stuff, and sometimes my parents would even tell me I had to go out with friends and stuff, and they wanted me out of the house, but they were like that important to me, and so I'm super thankful for them too. So
it was his spirituality. When I got closer to getting married, the things I looked for the most was, okay, it's for eternity, and then I started thinking that's going to be the dad of my kids. And when you put it that way, his spirituality is the thing that honestly made me choose him over anybody. And I still would choose him over and over because he's the one that makes me pray at night, reminds me to pray, reminds me of my scriptures. And that is what I needed. And I knew it was what I needed. That was the number one thing. And my dad always said, look for someone that makes you a better person.
I think you have a lot more love for your spouse because you're like, this is forever. And so they love you enough to want to be with you forever. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just you have more love for them because you have that perspective.
Everything that pretty much happens, you have to look at an eternal perspective. I started, thinking about this with my own parents and why they were, strict in some things and why they wouldn't let me do a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to do is because they had eternal perspective in mind.
We have fun being married, but there's days where you'll get annoyed at what someone does, and you just have to go through the hard times. And I think a lot of people give up. And I also, when you're looking for someone, you have to know what you're getting into in a futuristic perspective.
Yeah, I think it's a lot too, is a lot of people have different you have different brains, you have different points of view, you grew up in different houses, so it's learning to live with that person for the first couple of years, and then how to apply the gospel. Basically, if you apply the small stuff like reading, praying, family home evening, those small things will help have the Spirit in your house. But of course, you're going to fight and you're going to argue.
Yeah, that's normal.
That's
so
the normal part of it.
People should know
but
that.
It's if you're not having those small spiritual moments and striving. You have to always strive. I guess live in the dating stage is what I would say is.
Family to me is a forever thing. It is. Like it's the only thing that I can picture when I'm 80. You know, I don't picture my friends when I'm 80, like, you know, talking to the same friends or where I'm living. I know everything's going to change, but I do know that my brothers and my sister and my family's always going to be there. And so to me, it's the only true constant other than the gospel. It's like the family and the gospel.